Thanks, Cannon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be here today with Braves legend Dale Murphy. Dale, of course, is a person who needs no introduction, but let me remind you of some of his career highlights. So, over the course of his 19-year Major League Baseball career, Dale was a two-time MVP, back-to-back, 82 and 83, a seven-time All-Star, five-time Gold Glove winner, a four-time Silver Slugger winner. His number 3 has been retired by the Atlanta Braves. He's in the Atlanta Braves Hall of Fame, and we all know that he belongs in another hall located in New York State. But along with all those baseball accolades, Murph is one of the nicest people on the planet. He and his wife, Nancy, are the proud parents of 8 children and 12 grandchildren. And on top of that, he's a sought-after motivational speaker and a successful businessman. Thanks for joining us, Dale.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much. I appreciate the chance to be on. Look forward to the conversation. Thank you.
You bet. So we're going to jump right into baseball, Dale.
Okay.
You had an incredible career in Atlanta. When you look back at it, what were some of your memories or your best moments?
Well, I think, first of all, I was very fortunate to be with the Atlanta Braves organization. A lot of people think, as you mentioned, the back-to-back MVPs, I really appreciate you mentioning that. But when you go back to the history of my career, you'll see there wasn't really a straight path. I was really lucky to be with the Atlanta Braves. I was really lucky to be with Bobby Cox. My path to the big league started at catcher, went to first base. And so the first thing I think about is that Bobby Cox really saved my career. In the fall of '79, he called me and said, come to spring training, be ready to play the outfield. And without that phone call and without Bobby's, finding a position for me, who knows, my career would have been over shortly thereafter. Yeah, I was starting to hit a little bit, but he got me into the outfield. I ended up making my first All-Star team that year, won a Gold Glove, and all of a sudden I found a home defensively. And it just put everything in my mind. I was just at ease and comfortable, I guess is the best way to say it. So I have to say 1980 was the pivotal year of my career. And thankfully Bobby Cox was there to help me. Get me to the outfield. Then '82, our storybook year, we didn't have a lot of good years. We had a few, but Joe Torre came along and we started out '82 13-0 and ended up winning the division. Got swept in the playoffs by the Cardinals, who went on to win the World Series. But '82, '83, '84. Even '85, I think, we were in the mix a little bit. That run there was just an incredible experience. We had a great group of guys, a lot of fun. So I think of 1980, and then I think of that '82 year, starting off like we did, and also winning my first, MVP was, some of my best memories. Now there's some crazy things that happened that a lot of Braves fans that, we got the July 4th, 1985 game that lasted till 4 a.m. So we have some very interesting moments in my career that I remember. Unfortunately, they don't involve a World Series, but they involve some crazy games and some great memories. I think that's what, I think about. And most of us, when we're done, we think about our teammates. We don't really remember specific games and, home runs or anything. We just remember overall being very lucky to, be a part of a major league team and have that chance to play Major League Baseball. And I'm so thankful for the Braves. If I was with another organization, honestly, I really don't know if it would have worked out.
So you mentioned motivational speaking. We're here with some of Atlanta's finest business and community leaders. So what are some of your main messages about leadership?
Well, my first thought is, the lessons I learned from Bobby. I love to talk about baseball. I think, we all have kind of our sports analogies. But I think baseball really has some good analogies that fit in with the business community, in that it's almost an everyday thing, just like everybody goes to work and has challenges every day. 162 games. If you get into the playoffs, it's 182. I mean, a lot of things going on, and an everyday thing. So what I think about, first of all, as far as leadership is concerned, is that what was the thing that I enjoyed. The two different personalities, Bobby Cox and Joe Torre. There's one common denominator, and it's trust of their players. Because as managers of baseball team, if the players don't do well, who gets fired? The manager. Um, but he also he can't control everybody's thoughts and ideas and what they're doing out there. But when they do release some of that, when they give the players trust, I'll give you a perfect example. In a nutshell, I stole a few bases. Well, I went to spring training in 1982, and Joe Torre pulled me aside and said, Murph, I think you can steal more bases. You're not. I don't want you to wait for a steal sign anymore, which is usually how it works. You got to get a steal sign for someone like me. He says, I'm going to give you the green light. Every time you're out there, you think about stealing a base, and I trust you to make a good decision. I trust you that you know the pitcher. I trust you that you know the score of the game, the inning, etc. If it's worth the risk, and if you show me you don't understand that, I'm going to take that, give you the red light. So he said, you got the green light. So I went down to spring training in 82. I had a few stolen bases, 80 and 81. But I went down to 82, and it was like, it was an incredible feeling. Every time I got on base, I was thinking, is this a good time? Or even I was thinking ahead of time, if I get on, should I, try to steal? I started studying pitchers. The point is, he trusted me with something that he could have controlled. But what happened was I ended up stealing 25, 26 bases in 82. And then 83, I ended up stealing 30. I hit 30 home runs, and hitting 30 home runs and having 30 stolen bases is kind of unique. And it was just like a revelation to me. I wasn't that fast, but what he did was trust me to make decisions and didn't micromanage everything. So he was leading by trusting instead of managing and putting out fires everywhere. He trusted a lot of us, and that's what Bobby did too. Look, he knows you're going to make a mistake, but he also doesn't pound you when you do, and he'll trust you that you are experienced, you're creative, and that the long-term goal is going to be accomplished. And so that was the first thing I learned about how to lead. And then individually, as far as being a baseball player, the other message I love to share is that there's nothing more important than being resilient. It is, professional, being a hitter in baseball is an at bat, inning to inning, at bat to at bat, pitch to pitch, second to second battle of being resilient and present and bouncing back. Because as we all know, baseball, most of the time you fail when you're up there. Ted Williams was the last guy to hit 400. I mean, 400, you're still failing six out of 10 times, 60 out of 100. Most of us are around, 260. I don't remember what my lifetime. I think I hit around 265. But if you hit 300, you're a great hitter. But 70% of the time, you actually did what you didn't want to do. So you're constantly trying to figure out positive, taking the positive, squeezing the positive out of every at bat, and just how to literally bounce back from moment to moment. And I think I learned that in my career, and I like to share that message of, being resilient and how to be resilient.
Yeah, trust and resilience are two pretty important leadership values. So
absolutely.
I just want to thank you for being with us today, Dale. We really appreciate it, and also just thank you for representing Atlanta so well over your career and beyond. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Ben. And I can't, again, Nancy and I are linked to the Atlanta community. We haven't lived there full time, but we're actually getting an apartment there few months this summer. Next summer, we're going to be there more often. We're looking forward to that. And I wish this was in person, but I appreciate the chance to do this virtually. So want to just tell everybody hello, go Braves, and thanks for having me on, Ben.
Thanks, Dale. All right, let's hand it back to Cannon.